Okay, let me tell you about why I have this log branch with me here today. This would be going back to October 18th, 2020. Sue and I were trimming trees in our grove, and because the ash tree branches were growing into our spruce trees, and they were pushing the spruce trees down and causing them some harm. And so about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're out trimming trees, and I've got about 4 or 5 branches already off, and I tell Sue, let's do one more. And what we were doing was not extremely under these headings of OSHA approved. I was standing in the bucket of our 656 tractor about 10 feet in the air using my steel pole saw. The steel pole saw was extended probably another 8 to 10 feet, and I was trimming this branch. And I thought that I had trimmed through the branch to about 2/3 of the way, and I was going to throw a rope from the bucket into the branch, have Sue lower me to the ground, and then pull the branch to the ground. What happened was I was in the bucket, I put the saw down, given the saw to Sue down below, and I was using on my hands and knees trying to unwind a rope so I could throw the rope into the branch, and then Sue was going to lower me and I was going to pull the branch down. What happened was the branch snapped. Instead of it being cut 2/3 of the way through, as you can see, it's cut almost all the way through, and it was under tension, and the branch was probably another 20 feet longer than this, and it snapped. It hit me while I was in the bucket on my hands and knees, just right about where your left shoulder blade would be. And Sue was wide-eyed looking, what the heck happened? And I reached over the bucket and I pointed down, lower the bucket and get down. I know I've obviously got broken parts of my body. And I thought, well, it might be a vertebrae broken or whatever. But in my wisdom at the time, I thought that I needed to park the tractor back in the pole barn. Little did I know, but at the time, I also had a collapsed lung. So I broke something, had a collapsed lung, was able to get onto the tractor and drive the tractor back into the pole barn. And then I tell Sue, I think, maybe we should go to the hospital. And I think, and so she did run and get the car, and this would be, again, October 18th, 2020. COVID was just ramping up every day. There was getting to be more and more cases of COVID, and I went up to the ER. Sue could not come in because of the COVID restrictions. So I walk in to ER. They don't know that I'm coming. And they look at me and I tell them what happened. Their eyes are, wow, okay. They x-ray me and realize that I have a collapsed lung, and they start to reinflate the lung. But they send me via ambulance, to North Memorial. And I asked the ambulance driver, do I get to have the lights and the siren on? And the ambulance driver says, that depends on you. And I also asked him, I said, do you mind if I just drift off to sleep? Because by this time, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and they're trucking me into North Memorial. And I realized that when I get to North Memorial, I'm probably not going to get any sleep, because somebody's going to come by every 15 minutes, tap on me and say, are you awake? Are you awake? And so they do let me go to sleep, and I get to North Memorial. At North Memorial, they run more x-rays on me, and that's when I learned that I have 10 broken ribs. 7 broken ribs on the left side, right about where the shoulder blade is, and then on down, and then 3 on the right side. And I'm not in great pain, but I develop a relationship with the trauma doc. And I talk to the trauma doc and I say, hey, what is it, how come I'm not in worse shape? And he said, that's because your back muscles did exactly what they were supposed to do. He said they protected your spine. And they were very amazed that I was able to get up, walk around. I was able to comply with what they had wanted me to do. And they put me in ICU overnight, but I looked around and I got up and started to walk on my own, unaided with a nurse or aide. And they were pretty impressed that I was able to do that. And I make a strong point that I didn't think I needed to be in ICU any longer, because I thought they needed the bed for somebody else who was in worse shape than I was. And looking at what was going on in ICU, I mean, I was the best one in ICU. So they do move me to another hospital room that night. So Monday night, they moved me to the hospital room, and I campaigned that I want to get out, because being a veterinarian, I know how ribs heal. Not well. So, so they did agree that, if I could do a couple things, prove them that I could do that. And one of them was getting myself dressed. And so Tuesday morning, Sue had come to pick me up, but we're waiting to be discharged by the PT gal. And the PT gal was going to show me how to put my socks on and to get dressed. And I was already dressed. And she just looked at me like, what the heck? And she said she wanted us to be her parents, because we were good examples of how we should take care of ourselves. And that's my functional fitness story, with trying to keep yourself as strong as you can possibly be for moments like what happened to me.